All right. Live for chapter 8. So we're going to begin chapter 8 here in just a little bit. All right, Facebook is on. All right, Instagram is on. Very good. And YouTube is on. Okay. So we're going to be continuing with the inner work. I hope everybody had a fantastic long weekend. It was holiday weekend here in the States, so there was a lot of downtime. I have a nice, beautiful long weekend myself with my person. So, yeah, good to be back. Last vacation of the year until the end of the year, right? So it's the last kind of little break. So it's the powering moments right up until the end of the year. And then, of course, content creation is year round. So that'll be happening all the time. So, yeah, I expect to be nice and busy from this point forward. We're going to continue with chapter 8. I'm only going to read chapter 8 tonight because chapter 9 is about 40 pages. So we'll be doing chapter 9 as soon as possible. I'm not sure if I'll be doing that tomorrow or if I'll be doing that on Thursday. I'm thinking I will probably do that on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. I'll ask my pendulum. I'll probably make an announcement, so look out for that. So we're going to get started here with chapter 8 here in just a little bit. Reading the inner work. If you would like to get all caught up, I've already read chapters 1 through 7. They have already been posted on all 3 platforms. TikTok is not getting book club. They're not focused enough. So Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, they are all getting book club plus the posting of it. So you can go back, reread it. The inner work is an invitation to true freedom and lasting happiness. If you're a human and you want to be happy, this book is for you. And we're going to get started here in just a second on the chapter 8. So I'm seeing here. Perfect. All right, kids. Nope. Oh, here's my coworker. Again, I hope everybody had a beautiful weekend. Sorry for the delay. Monday was also an off day for my person, so I took off too. All right, chapter 8. So we're going to jump right in with practicing the inner work. So Bishop John Earl says, using awareness, personal responsibility, and inner work to review our unskillful or frightened reactions, we become more adept at turning habitual reactions to balanced responses. These moments are very exciting and gratifying. Okay. All right. The purpose of the inner work is to realign yourself with love and joy in every new moment, and therefore live in an awakened state as your true self. The first step to actualizing this is to become aware of any shift away from inner peace and gratitude first and foremost. Remember that your true self is in silent bliss of existence, so anything other than divine presence is the ego editing your reality. Whatever pulls you out of this divine contentment is what we refer to as a trigger. Yikes. Trigger. So everybody has triggers. I have triggers. I get them constantly. It's me being put into situations where I get to practice what I learn. I don't always do the exact right thing, but it's awareness. Like I actually have awareness now and a want to do differently. So steps in that direction. Okay. So a trigger reveals a limitation in our unconscious programming and is our first clue on the path to freedom. As a caveat, where this concept does not apply in rare instances of abuse or any form of direct violation. So, in which case, the first priority is securing physical and emotional safety. Okay, so rare instances of abuse or any form of direct violation. So, this is extreme bullying. This is somebody, being verbally, emotionally, or physically abusive towards you. Okay, all of these things are not allowed. Like Toby, he just gives them to me. However, most triggers occur in our everyday mundane moments of life and reveal opportunities for self-examination and introspection. Yes. Each time we are pulled out of peace, we must turn our gaze away from the scenario and instead look within ourselves with curious eyes. For some of us, dissatisfaction may arise first thing in the morning with the sound of the alarm clock. As soon as we wake up, feelings of stress and frustration regarding our to-do lists may immediately come to our attention. For others, bitterness or anger may arise suddenly when our partner says or does something we deem inconsiderate or annoying. Or perhaps joy leaves us when an unexpected bill arrives, reminding us of a perceived burden. Whatever the initial fall from peace may have been triggered by, we must move our attention away from the circumstance, the bill, the annoyance, the clock, the thing. Thank you. Thank you, Elmarie. Appreciate it. Thank you for the stars, Brittany. I appreciate you. So whatever the initial fall from peace that we may have been triggered by, right? So this is whatever the thing, the circumstance. Become more interested as to why we're even being bothered to begin with, right? Why are we even being bothered? The alarm clock is not a big deal. We actually should be grateful that we even are waking up. You know, some people don't even get the opportunity to wake up. Sometimes you should be very grateful that you're waking up healthy, you know, that you're not waking up sick, that you're waking up with a place to go. Some people, you know, that you actually have a job. Hi, Grace. Good to see you. Welcome. So a moment of gratitude, shifting your focus into a different energy, and then being aware of what happens, what triggered that emotion, where did that come from, and why? Why did we even bother? To begin with? What belief is behind the trigger, and what is the story? The purpose of identifying triggers is to connect them to a root program belief that is not serving our highest self. In doing so, we reclaim our power and authority over our responses to life. For example, let's say your partner or child does something in a public setting that draws unwanted attention and you become embarrassed or anxious, therefore falling away from a peaceful state. Without the inner work, you might feel tempted to reprimand them or shame them with guilt. This is a typical auto response of an unconscious program of embarrassment and feeling unlovable. The program seeks to perpetrate itself by blaming other people or circumstances for its discomfort while avoiding taking ownership that the program itself is the issue. How we react to the triggers is very telling as to what program we might be running on. If we reprimand and degrade another, we probably struggle with shame. If we judge another, we most likely tend to harshly judge ourselves and therefore struggle with guilt. Essentially, every time we are triggered, we are being invited to break free of an old program that is limiting our joy. Apply the inner work, and this exact same scenario can become a golden opportunity for healing and transformation. With patience, rather than blaming someone else for embarrassing you, you will instead inquire as to why you were so easily embarrassed. The inner analysis may reveal an unconscious part of yourself that still struggles with self-acceptance and self-love. which then might spark curiosity as to where you inherited this self-rejection in the first place, consequently revealing a memory of parenting shaming you as a child for embarrassing them, and thus the moment you first covered yourself with a blanket is discovered. The color of that blanket just happens to be rejection. With this kind of awareness, you can now decide for yourself to take the layers of shame off, knowing that this limitation was projected onto you and does not need to be endorsed any longer. Once separate from it, you can finally feel freedom in your own skin. With the inner work, everyone becomes our teachers, and all triggers become opportunities to heal. I like that. Everyone becomes our teacher. Every opportunity is an opportunity to heal, to apply the lessons. Every opportunity, every person. Carl Jung, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. With this type of awareness about yourself, there arises an actual choice to let the program continue or to choose something different. Without awareness of the theme of consciousness, programs, or triggers, there is a limited freedom and lack of choice because we remain focused on the external scenario and never look inside ourselves for the solution. Without realizing that there is a choice in how we experience reality, we remain obedient to the voice inside our heads, forever finding ways to validate the very programs which keep us trapped. It is with this new heightened awareness of ourselves that the gap emerges between each situation and our response to it, thus allowing for genuine free will and decision. By becoming aware of our ability to choose our inner perspectives and beliefs in every moment, we reclaim authority over our lives and exercise our spiritual will to go beyond the ego's patterns of behavior and rewrite the root program. Yes. Using the same example as above, the inner work, you would feel embarrassment arising. Rather than becoming it, you could observe it. The inner narrative changes from, this is so embarrassing, I am so embarrassed, to a feeling of embarrassment is coming up, but I choose peace. I am loved as I am. I can never be embarrassed, and I am always doing the best I can. I am perfect, whole, and complete. I embrace myself with love. Anyone's opinion of me has nothing actually to do with me. Anyone's opinion of me has nothing to do with me. Okay, that goes for everybody. My opinion of you has nothing to do with you. Your opinion of me has nothing to do with me. The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, chapter 2, verse 33. When the mind is disturbed by negative thoughts, one should dwell on their opposites. Okay. So anything negative, we have to think the counter opposite, basically. Just that whole thing I was saying last week about focusing on the silver lining for any negative situation, doing your hardest work to find something positive in a negative situation. After affirming this new narrative, breathe into this new outlook. Notice how much better it feels, how empowering it is, and how much more loving and true it feels. Settle into this new person you are becoming. Your transformation in these everyday moments is real and not to be brushed off as insignificant. True change is in the simple, small moments of life. There is nothing grandiose needed. All genuine healing comes from consistent small moments that accumulate to make a powerful, lasting shift in awareness. Every time you consciously choose your new narrative over your inherited programs, you are literally becoming a new person biologically, mentally, and spiritually. By uprooting and replacing old programs, you institute a new pattern of approach to your life, therefore altering every aspect of your life, such as levels of success, happiness, love, and feelings of connection and purpose. Gradually, the old programs will stop being triggered because your mind will know they are no longer a viable option. Imagine a program being uninstalled or deleted from a computer. Thus, with the old programming removed and the new narrative established and reinforced, the new program will take root and the consciousness can move on in its evolution. This is how all true evolution and lasting change takes place. There are only 3 simple steps to the inner work process that can be practiced throughout everyday moments. Become aware of the trigger, connect them to a root program belief and a theme of consciousness, then uproot and replace it with a new narrative of a higher perspective. Step 1, awareness of triggers. The first step of your healing process is to become aware of any time you fall from a state of peace and contentment and ask yourself what exactly triggered such a change. Clearly identify the thoughts, feelings, or actions associated with the situation making you uncomfortable. What is arising? Take the focus off the external circumstance and focus purely on what is going on within you. Give it a name. Anxiety is arising. Craving is arising. Insecurity is arising. Whatever trigger you identify while examining yourself, look at it objectively and take note without judgment. It is helpful to observe the body's and the mind's behaviors and patterns impersonally. Remembering the impersonal nature of your inherited ego removes unnecessary judgment about it. Have courage to look at your triggers with the eyes of the observer, just witnessing all that being human entails. Awareness is the first step of the healing process. Once you identify a trigger, you can identify the root program belief that generated the trigger. Step 2, identify the root program belief and the theme of consciousness. Now that there is awareness around the trigger, you can begin the uprooting and healing process. First, reflect on the trigger you have identified. Then, become curious as to what this trigger is actually revealing. What deeper belief is being ruffled and brought to the surface? Instead of following your mind down the rabbit hole of blame and rationalization, inquire as to what the trigger says about yourself instead. Can you identify any patterns with this particular thought, feeling, or action? Have you experienced this trigger before? Is this connected to past traumas or memories? Does it get triggered often? Start to connect the dots. Remember, nothing is isolated. Triggers will always reveal deeply rooted beliefs about your life and who you think you are. Avoid blaming your thoughts, feelings, or actions on the current situation, circumstances, or other people. Use I language instead to take the focus away from the external and into the internal, thus exposing the theme of consciousness you are occupying. The external trigger did not make you fall from peace. It may be an uncomfortable or even painful situation, but your response to the trigger is always your free choice. Now is your chance to implement honesty, self-inquiry of your own reactions to the trigger. Without self-reflection, you will continue to focus on the external event and never reveal the true source of your suffering, which is much deeper and entirely internal. You can't remove a tree by trimming its leaves. You have to dig out the root. It's important to note that finding the root is not to perpetuate blame or victimhood further. It is simply to help you understand that all negative root program beliefs are inherited, limited perceptions from past wounds that are still influencing your present. Once the root is identified, it makes it easier to let the story go and replace it with something you'd like to experience now, thus allowing the possibility to truly change your life and experience the present moment free from the influence of limiting root program beliefs. Trigger. Anxiety is arising. Root program belief. I believe the worst case scenario is going to happen to me. I've been hurt in the past, and now I'm assuming I'll keep getting hurt. Theme of consciousness. This must be coming from distrust. Trigger. Craving is arising. Root program belief. I believe I will only be satisfied once I get what I want. In the past, I coped with my vulnerabilities by indulging in food, materialism, drugs, alcohol, or sex, and now I'm assuming that they are the source of my confidence. Theme of consciousness. This must be coming from inadequacy. Trigger. Competitiveness is arising. Root program belief. I believe I am not liked or loved unless I prove my worth. I feel inferior when I lost or was overlooked in the past, and now I'm assuming that I am not the best or a winner. I will not be loved. Theme of consciousness. This must be coming from insecurity. Step 3, release and replace. Once the root program belief of theme of consciousness are exposed, the next question is, do you want to continue the narrative or rewrite it? Do you want to continue to live in the wounds of rejection, judgment, overwhelm, loss, distrust, inadequacy, violation, or insecurity? Whatever theme of consciousness is revealed, if it is bringing you suffering or limitation, it is time to let it go. The third step is all about the pause between the situation and your response to it. Breathe into the gap. You do have a choice to respond differently than you have in the past. It is within this gap that you can actually make a conscious choice to reprogram and restore the mind back to the theme of true freedom and lasting happiness, its original, pure nature. If a belief does not like the most loving perspective you could take, then it is best to not indulge in it and choose it differently. Leave your old programs in the past and refrain from bringing them into your present. Release the old reprogram belief with a new narrative that is in alignment with your true self. Every passing experience of your life is another chance to turn it all around. You don't have to go another minute carrying the baggage and limitations of your past. Excuse me. Trigger. Anxiety is arising. Root program belief. I believe the worst case scenario is going to happen to me. I have been hurt in the past. Now I'm assuming I'll keep getting hurt. Theme of consciousness. Coming from distrust. New narrative. It is also possible the best case scenario will happen. My past does not define me. I will always be okay, and I am being guided. All perceived setbacks are actually working out for my benefit in the long run. I trust and believe in the goodness of life. Anything is possible for me. So the craving trigger. So being satisfied once you get what you want, coped with your vulnerabilities, indulging in food, materialism, drugs, etc., assuming that they are the source of your confidence, coming from the theme of inadequacy is your consciousness. So the new narrative for this, what I desire is actually within me. I am tired of my cravings controlling my mood. I am ready to make a change. I will break free of this. I am free. I am whole. I am complete. I am disciplined over my impulses. Disciplined over my impulses. Self-control is hot. It's very, very rare. Very rare for people to display this self-control, right? The ability to have a filter, to maintain your composure, to choose to just keep scrolling, to choose to not have to voice some sort of an opinion that was not asked for. So, inadequacy, disciplined over my impulses. Competitiveness is arising. So that belief about not being liked or loved unless you prove your worth, your feeling of inferiority, being overlooked in the past, assuming that if you are not the best or a winner, that you will not be loved. So that's coming from insecurities, right? So the new narrative is that you are always loved unconditionally. There is enough love and happiness for everyone. There is no actual competition to be me. I have nothing to prove. I do not need to earn love, for I am innately loved. Love is my natural, effortless state and is within me. It's within me. It doesn't come from outside of me. It's nothing that can be taken away from me. It's within. Okay. Every time you follow through on this process, you are being reborn anew. As you consciously change your internal responses to your life, your brain and body will follow the spiritual will's intention. Trust the infinite power of your consciousness that aligns and molds with your entire experience of your physical reality. With time, the brain's neurochemistry will begin reconstructing itself to match the new theme of consciousness you are endorsing. The stronger the attachments, the longer it may take to rewire, but it can be done through consistent effort. The inner work is a contemplative lifestyle practice that brings powerful change throughout everyday mundane moments that hold infinite potential. Nothing extravagant is necessary. Your ability to change, evolve, and adapt is within your hands in every moment. Each time you embrace your new narratives with courage and trust, the entire universe shifts to reflect back your newly awakened self. With every conscious redirection of your focus away from your past programs, you are resowing the fields of your consciousness and harvesting a new crop, thus bringing forth a new real-program belief and therefore thoughts, feelings, and actions of your liberated self. This process of awakening can be gradual or instantaneous. It's all a matter of your faith and ability to let go and surrender resistance to remembering who you really are. Who you really are. Woo! Well, that was fairly quick. As said before, chapter 9 is about 40 pages. So I'm not going to crack into that tonight, as it is, it's a doozy. It's going to require a little bit earlier start. Yeah, look, this is chapter 9. All of that. So when you come back for chapter 9, be prepared. Bring a snack, bring a drink, charge your batteries. It's going to be a minute. So you think it's a lot. It's a lot. It's all of the themes, though. It's pretty cool. It's healing. It's the healing chapter. Healing the wounded themes of consciousness. Accept responsibility for your life. Know that it's you who will get where you want to go, no one else. Whew. A lot of it, there are some charts and stuff here. So there are some charts. There's one that I did. And I will show you what I am working on. I'm not ashamed. I actually, there's a few things that I'm not really that at a loss on, but yeah, a lot of things are deep. There's some really deep issues here. And then there are pages that are just charts and such. So there will be pages that are just giant pieces of chart and such. So it's not horrid. It's good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking probably midway. I'll probably read until my mouth quits feeling comfortable. Then I'll give myself a little break. So no problemo. But yeah. So we'll start chapter 9 coming up soon. Should I do chapter 9 on Thursday? Tomorrow? Thursday? I don't know. We'll see. It says so far, not yet. Possibly Thursday. I'm thinking Thursday. We'll see. Right now it's a no, but we'll see what happens. If I get a little bit more done, then hopefully I'll be too busy. Oh, you're so welcome. Oh, isn't it great? So, how is it going for you, Grace? How's it going for you? How's the book going for you? Thank you. Zen did that. Thank you, Zen, for my eye candy. Isn't that fun? Sparkly. Isn't that great? I know. And I had a little extra left over, so I blinged my drink. I took the little crystals and put it around my drink. I'm sparkly. Oh, you're nearly at a signing point? That's great. That's great. Have you been to court and such? Have you been doing any of that? What is the 8? Did you have something coming up? He is handing your cross. possessions over. Just that he needs to hand back. This is out of court settlement for financial. Cool, cool, cool. Good. He's handing your possessions over. He needs to hand back. Cool. Good. Yay. So just relaxing and knowing that it was happening and allowing it to kind of flow. Perfect. Good. November 8th. That's what it was. I was like, something is the 8th. Why are they saying like something in the 8th? Oof. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Yeah, they said the 8th. I was like, I don't know. Let me ask. Exactly what my card said. September. Stood up to everyone and he backed down. Oh my God. Oh, you are so well. I am so honored to have resonated. That's freaking cool. Really cool, Grace. I love that. That's great. Thank you. Thank you for the affirmation. I was curious. Girl, I almost wore my shirt today that said tarot cards don't lie. I almost read that shirt today. It said tarot cards don't lie. The reader will lie, but the tarot cards don't lie. So as long as you're picking it out and you're attuned to your decks and you're spiritually connected, message. Oh, thank you. Stop. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. That makes my day. I appreciate that. I need to hear that sometimes. So thanks. I work hard to give y'all something to look at. So thank you for affirming that. I don't do anything other than just put makeup on and brush this hair. So you're welcome and thank you. Came out, the card said, would finish up in September. Perfect. That's so freaking cool. How freaking cool. So you're right on time. You'll be free before New Year. You'll be free by the holidays, huh? Is that kind of what I'm getting? You'll be completely done with this and on with your life? Is there a way for you to is this helping? Is this going to help you so that you can find a job easier? A little less pressure? Whoa, in just a few days. That's wild. A holiday in spring goes in next. Will take a month for the courts to stamp on it. The main battle for your daughter. Custody battle in the new year. Or that spring. Wow. That'll be good. Yeah, we'll look at that later. We'll look at that some other time. Has her school holiday in 4 weeks. Your spring. Okay. Oh boy. On a holiday in spring. Interesting. I wonder what that is. What is that? Yikes. Okay. You're welcome. That's fun. All right, book club. Very good. Okay. So I am very happy to have given you all chapter 8. So that's going to be chapter 8. Chapter 9, as Grace has helped me to come up with here, we'll be splitting chapter 9 up into 2 parts. Unless I can power through, probably do 2 parts. It has a few big charts and stuff on there, so we'll see how it goes. But I have a feeling I'll probably need to split it up. It's pretty big. It's massive. Oh, I'll be back on. Yeah, I'm coming back on a lot. The fact that I can do all 3 platforms at once, I can run cards for all 3 platforms. We can just play. And then I'll be doing TikTok on its own time. And then this here, it's a big chapter. It is. It's really big. So, but that's fine, because then we've got 9 is big, and then we've got 10 and 11, and then it's done. That went fast, actually. We've got 9, 10, 11, and the book's done. So that was fast. It's cool. It's a good fast read. And then the 4 elements will also be a very fast read, because it's big typeface and it's a small book. So it's going to be a real easy read. So not bad at all. Hi, Collective Souls. Good to see you. It's good rereading it. I know, right? I like to go back and listen to it. Like I'll re-listen to it while I'm getting ready, or I'll sometimes just listen to podcasts or whatever. But re-listening to it really locks it in. Having this be the 3rd time I'm going through it, I picked through it the other time, and then I read through it thoroughly and efficiently the first time all the way through. And then now this is about my 3rd time through it. And then listening to it every once in a while really locks it in. This really locks it in. And again, it's a constant thing. It's not like you're going to arrive at this state of perfection unless you realize that all is perfect as it is. And so there is a consistent need to apply what you learn and what you understand from the book throughout life, with every situation, every person, right? Because we're not always going to deal with people who are in their right mind. We're not always going to deal with people who are, mentally sound, or have our best interest at heart, or, genuinely want to be a part of our lives in a very healthy way. So we're going to have to practice and utilize everything that we learn in this book consistently. And that's what it says in here. Consistency is key. But that's with everything, right? Consistency is always key. This is what locks things in. This is what changes your programming. This is how you rewrite those root programmings. And fault and blame and lack of accountability only waste time. It just wastes time, honestly. So up to you. Again, I don't know if anyone's getting triggered yet by this book. There were many trigger warnings, and we haven't even gotten into the themes of the wounds yet. So we'll get into the themes of healing. Healing is coming up next. So that'll be really interesting. Meant to be a reread a few times down the line track. Totally. Yep. Good. Always have to apply. Yeah. Our situation, right? We grow and evolve. And so as we're growing and evolving, we get new games, we get new levels, right? New levels, new devils. So you're going to be elevating yourself through these levels of awakening, through levels of healing. And so with each new level, you're going to be tested. You're going to be pushed to your limits. And it's going to be, you're either going to rise or fall. That's just the way it is. And the point of it is to not stay down. The point of it is to not wallow and be there forever. The point of it is as long as you're not, resigning to be a scumbag for the rest of your life, and you're at least trying to be a good person, then you are a good person. If you're not trying to be a good person and you're just kind of, assigning your life meaning to being an NPC or a troll or whatever scumbag you want to be, if that's, the life you want to take on, then that's a choice. It is absolutely a choice. There's a reason behind it, if you would care to look into it, but based on that energy, it's doubtful. It's doubtful. It's sad. It's sad, almost pitiful. But, that's humans, and we all have choices. Tell you what, there were many, 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 many times when I assigned myself a lot of alone time so that I could detach from anger, frustration, sadness, despair, inadequacy, distrust, lots of issues with distrust. So big stuff I'm working on myself. So big stuff, but instilled my entire life. That's 40 something years of undoing is a lot. For almost 50 years of undoing. Almost 50 years of undoing. There's a lot of undoing. But the point is that you got to start undoing it at some point, because if you keep adding to the programs and making yourself worse and worse and worse, it sure does show. It oozes out. It radiates. It's an auric field. Yeah. Big differences. Constant learning, relearning, and upgrading. Yeah. New levels. New levels. Always elevating. Exactly. All right, my lovelies. Okay, let's see here. Cute. Hi, Lisa. I didn't see the chats over there. That's sad. I'm only seeing Facebook and YouTube. Oh, it's so worth it. Absolutely. Absolutely correct. The reason it's so difficult is because, it's not everybody can do it. Not everybody can do it at the same time. Not everybody's ready at the same. I mean, it's difficult. That's why so many people will resign and resolve to that negative, low vibrational state. It's addictive. It has literal dopamine hits, cortisol hits, right? Being joyous and happy has, what is it? Endorphins, releases endorphins, which is the other side of the coin. So it's literally addictive to be negative. So yeah, hard to let go of that. Difficult to detach. Exactly. All right, kids. I feel, very good, scrolling down. Yep, I'll be back on. I'll be back on as soon as possible. I'll probably do an announcement. So look out for that so you'll know when I'll be on. It'll definitely be in the evening because everybody voted. You prefer the evenings for book club. So I'll probably do like an early evening and then hopefully be able to get right back on and do tarot after. We'll see. I always say that, but I get distracted. My person's fun. So, all right, kids, I will see y'all very soon. We will begin chapter 9 as soon as possible. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for reading along. Be sure to catch up on the previous posts if you need to do so. And again, this is the Inner Workbook, available on Amazon, TikTok, and wherever you find your books for sale.